they saw where there was a flat tile proceeding, but the good part about it, they didn't make us part of the
All right,
defense,
it's
so
5
we didn't
o'clock. We'll
fix
go ahead
it.
and get started with our work session for next week's council meeting. We will have a proclamation for Historic Preservation Month and a presentation of the 2024 CLG annual report. First item on the agenda is agenda-related comments. Mr. Faruqi has signed in.
Item B, under approval of minutes, the so-called special council work session. Any status update on his hire?
It's progressing. I haven't seen a same limit from what I was told last week. It's on track as it should be.
Okay. Any projected, if it's on track as projected, when can we expect?
My guess would be trying to get it on the third, or I guess the second council meeting of May, voting meeting. I believe that's the night. Just per progress on Tory Max.
When is the next budget review? There are a lot of items on here. We're spending a lot of money.
We'll have a budget review at mid-year in May.
Any date, time group on when that might be?
Sure, yes.
Okay.
Be on the agenda.
Have we identified any shortfalls yet?
Nothing I know of, but we'll address that when we.
Well, that should be something, glide path is something that's usually measured routinely.
I know of no shortfalls. I'm not aware of any.
Okay. How about shortfalls in any revenue projections?
I would expect that to be discussed then too.
I think that we're doing all right.
Okay. So with 65% increase in budget since you took power, we're on all right. Okay. The reason I was asking primarily about the chief's status, I guess the Wednesday of that meeting, the Tuesday is when we had the issue with Mr. Scott. And that Tuesday, or that Wednesday meeting, by that time, we'd almost gone 24 hours since the incident occurred. And we also had not only I believe the chief of police was in that meeting, if I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken on that. But I do know that the sheriff was present for that meeting. He was one of the speakers. Given where we sit today with not having a police chief assigned, we have an interim chief, given that we have basically turned over this entire investigation over to another county's sheriff's office, which I don't know did we do that last time for the Perkins incident?
Aaliyah did it, yeah.
Okay, so Aaliyah did it, you said yep.
Yes, Aaliyah did it.
Okay, but this is turned over to,
I didn't know exactly what you were asking. Was it turned over to an outside agency? Yes.
okay, but that's not what I'm asking. Was it turned over last time to Madison County?
No.
Okay, so this is a new procedure we're going through right now, Madison County versus Aaliyah. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, that's all I got. Thank you.
All right, first items on the agenda, approval of minutes, April 14th, 2025, 5 p.m. council work session, April 16th, 2025, 3 p.m. special call council work session, April 21st, 2025, 9:30 a.m. council work session, April 21st, 2025, 10 a.m. council meeting. Questions? Public hearings, ordinance 254605, approved pre-zoning request 142825 for property on Pisgah Road.
Okay.
Public hearing was set April 7th, 2025.
Yeah, good evening, council. This is the pre-zoning for the Pisgah Road property to be zoned to B2.
Any questions? Resolution 25072, approved request for special event retail liquor license by WIT LLC, doing business as JW Steakhouse for Cater Morgan Foundation Dragon Boat Race on May 10th, 2025, located at 2901 Point Mallard Circle Southeast, Decatur, Alabama.
Yeah, this is JW Witt is going to be doing the alcohol for the dragon boat races.
Any questions? All right, resolution 25073, approved request for special retail liquor license more than 30 days for Responsible Partners LLC, doing business at 609 Social Market Provisions at 802A Wilson Street Northwest.
Yeah, Responsible Partners is who won the bid to do alcohol for Ingalls Harbor.
And what is this specifically?
This will be his liquor license for the entire time that he is the responsible vendor for that location.
It's just post winning the bid. Okay.
Yes.
All right, any questions? All right, resolutions. Resolution 25074 approves special use permit for Verizon to co-locate on existing wireless facility located at 522T Laurel Street Southwest.
Good afternoon, President, Council, Mayor. David Andrews with CMS. This resolution is for an application made by Verizon Wireless. There is an existing tower at the dead end of Laurel Street. It's a 110-foot monopole. They're wanting to install their antennas on that tower. They're currently not providing service, so this will turn over a new service point for them. So it should have a drastic improvement in service in that area. They're wanting to install 9 antennas and 6 remote radio units to the tower and associated ground equipment.
All right, any questions? Thanks, David.
Yes, sir.
Resolution 25075 approve MUB expenditure of $310,000 for the purchase of 47-foot digger derrick truck. Glenn?
Evening, Mayor and Council. Glenn Boyles, Decatur Utilities. This is a request to purchase a new 47-foot digger truck for electric construction. This will be a 2025 Freightliner chassis with a Altec digger derrick unit. It'll also include a 5-year parts and labor extended warranty on the truck.
Any questions? Resolution 25076 approve MUB expenditure of $115,000 to replace 46 kilovolt poles on Woodall Road.
This is a replacement of 8 older wood poles on our 46 kV system. We'll be replacing these poles with new steel poles, and these were identified through our inspection process as needing replacement.
All right, any questions? All right, resolution 25077 approve agreement with Container Pros Professional Waste Services for the unloading, assembly, and delivery of recycling carts.
Good evening, Wanda Tyler, Landfill and Recycling. We're about to distribute some more recycling carts. We sent out the postcards. We got a wonderful response back. And this is the second set of carts that will be sent out to those people who want to upgrade or to start new with us. This particular agreement is with Container Pros for $8,767.20. And this should be our last one this year. And of course, this is grant funded with the Recycling Partnership Grant.
All right, any questions?
One last thing. I won't be here next week, but the recycling supervisor, Anthony Fulmer, will be presenting this to you. All right, thank you.
All right, resolution 25078 authorize the mayor to enter into an agreement with Goodwin Mills and Kaywood for preliminary engineering for the Turtle Bridge project.
Yes, this is the project that we received the grant from ADECA to do. So this will just get us a contract with Goodwin Mills and Kaywood to do that design for Turtle Bridge.
Any questions? Resolution 25079 authorize mayor to apply for Children's Trust Fund Family Matters Program.
Yes, this is just a yearly grant that we get from Children's Trust Fund to assist with a program that Youth Services does. So we're just asking to apply. If we get awarded, we'll come back to you for
All right,
approval.
Any questions? Resolution 25080 authorize mayor to apply for Children's Trust Fund Parenthood Initiative.
This is the same thing, just a second grant. If you have any questions. Thank you.
Resolution 25081 approve Phase 2 Princess Theater repairs.
Kurt Johnson, Building Maintenance. This Phase 2, which is referred to as Step 2 in the handout, consists of Shoal and Markland Architecture supplying biddable construction documents to our purchasing department. The Step 2 fee of $42,400 includes issuing drawings and specifications to bidders approved by the city and manage all questions and pre-bid meetings with our purchasing department. It also includes weekly job site visits and supplying progress reports from start to finish. The estimated time on supplying the corrective action is 4 to 6 weeks.
Any questions?
That also includes the structural engineer's fee, right?
That's correct.
Any other questions? Thanks, Kurt. Resolution 25082, award bid 25022 to Garner and Associates Roofing and Facility Services LLC for roof replacement at Senior Center.
Jeremy Sherrill, procurement. This need to replace this roof at the senior center was brought to us by Kurt Johnson. We invited 89 vendors to participate. We received 8 responses. We held the bid opening on April 17, and Garner and Associates is the lowest responsible bidder we recommend.
Any questions? Resolution 25083, award bid number 25023 to Yard Incorporated for mowing city-owned lots.
This is an annual contract renewal for the mowing of those city-owned lots. Currently, I think we're at 121 lots to be maintained. We invited 35 vendors to participate. From our vendor list, we received 2 responses, 1 no-bid response, and opened those on April 12th. And again, we recommend Yard, Inc. As the lowest responsible bidder.
Any questions? Resolution 25084, award bid number 25010 to H&N Construction for Point Mountain Event Center renovation being the lowest responsible bidder.
This is for the construction bid package of the renovation based on the design from Frameworks. Bids were open on March 18th. 2 bids were received, and H&N Construction won that bid as the lowest responsible bidder.
Any questions? Resolution 25085, authorize mayor to approve the Yamaha golf cart 4-year fleet lease agreement.
Mayor, Council, Stephanie McLean, Point Mallard Park, Decatur Parks and Recreation. This is a lease that we do every 4 years with the golf carts at Point Mallard Golf Course. Sourcewell, the vendor of Yamaha, is actually a Sourcewell participant, so for the best rate that we received on this, this would be the new 4-year contract. I think it's going up about $22,000 a year. This does include regular 42 carts, 20 seasonal carts, and 5 utility carts. So it's the same agreement that we had prior in 2021.
All right, any questions? Resolution 25086, approve overflow parking at Wilson Morgan parking lot.
So with Wilson Morgan and the rec center that's going in, there have been some challenges and opportunities with parking, as you all have all seen already this year. We were tasked by the mayor to come up with a better parking solution to keep people from parking on the streets and in front of people's driveways and things like that. So our department got with Carl's department or Dane's department with Carl with engineering and kind of came up with a solution for some of this. This resolution would be to add gravel to the overflow parking, which would be across from Sandlin. There is what we call the Red Barn field there to do that. I know I have had some questions. Mr. McMaster's actually asked the question of, would this be temporary? Yes and no. So even once the complex gets completed, for that, we do hope that our residents will take up lots of parking there to use the new rec center. So if we are having those larger ball tournaments, anything from 50 teams up, which is very common for us there, I do see us being able to use this as a longer-term solution.
Good deal. Any questions? Any issue I guess on the cross?
Well, the way that they're doing it right now, unfortunately, Mr. Ladner, they're crossing all over every street and just everywhere. So we can talk about maybe at some point going, again, getting with city engineers and things to maybe put in some type of a walkway or crosswalk there. So this would just be the first process if this is approved for us to kind of get started, and then we can go from there based on what you want us to do.
Okay. All right, yeah, it might be good to consider working with the crossing there. All right, any questions? All right, resolution 25087, approve replacement of roof for Fire Station 7.
Yes, sir. We invited 89 vendors to participate. We received 9 bids, opened those on April 17th, and Burnett Roofing we're recommending for approval.
Any questions? Anything to add? All right, resolution 25088, it's that $20,000 donation from Daikin America for Decatur Fire and Rescue to use for the purchase of an all hazards response vessel.
This is the donation, Tracy Thornton, Decatur Fire. This is the donation that Dyken gave to us when we was out looking about getting the fireboat. And this goes towards, they've already donated, it just has to be put in the account for us to pay. Looks like the boat is scheduled right now somewhere in late summer, early fall will be finished. It's in production right now.
Deal. Any questions? All right, Resolution 25089, accept donations from TDMW Management Incorporated and Air Products.
This is, the Air Products is a yearly donation that they give to us. We're going to use this for some equipment and uniforms for personnel.
Questions? Resolution 25090, approve relocation of voting center 4-3 Point Mallard Event Center to the Point Mallard Grill located at 2600A Point Mallard Drive Southeast.
Yes, with the Mallard Event Center still undergoing different construction and even possible additional, there will not be able to house the election for this year. So along with myself and Stephanie McLean and Lori Boardman from the county, we went and looked at the grill and verified that it was ADA compliant, accessible, and met the needs for a full location. And that would be the easiest one from what we could tell.
Any questions? All right, ordinances. Ordinance 25460A, approve annual ad valorem tax levy for FY26.
It's the same levy we've had for years. It's a state law. You just reinforce it or reaffirm it every May.
Any questions? Ordinance 2546090, declare surplus and return property donated to the city via resolution 23079 to Grace Life Church.
Yeah, this is the property we talked about last week, so just unless the council has questions.
Any questions? All right, that is it for the agenda. Anything else? You do have one.
I know we've shared out, it's on the website and it's on social media, but just want to say we did do a one-day pass sale for any last-minute passes for Point Mallard Water Park. That sale is today online only, and it goes through midnight tonight. So,
anything else? All right, we'll move to our public comments part of the meeting. Remember, we do 3 minutes with 1 minute to wrap up. And we'll go in order. Amanda Anthony was first.
I'm going to give you my best.
Thank you. If you've got one extra, give it to the city clerk too. He's not here, but we can get it.
Okay. So, ready for me to start?
You're good.
Okay, hello. I wanted to suggest a new approach to mental health crises here in our city. I'm not criticizing anybody for what happened recently, but I think we just need to look at a new way of doing things. And so my goal is to improve response to people suffering mental health crises and safely transport them to the hospital. And one of the problems is that police officers aren't equipped to deal with people having mental health crises. And EMS can only transport people that are willing or, they can't be combative. And so emergency responders generally have the mindset of trying to resolve a call quickly in anticipation of another call coming in. This results in a lack of patience with situations that extend for longer periods of time. Most significantly, there's a lack of emergency mental health services, including inpatient hospitalization here in North Alabama. So my suggestion is to create a new city department, and I'm calling it the Mental Health Advocate, to respond to mental health calls. Hire employees with work experience as social workers, EMTs, paramedics, or they could have been medics in the military, and psychiatric techs, to ensure that there's 4 rotating teams to provide 24/7, 365-day coverage. So each team should reflect some racial, gender diversity in order to create rapport with patients. So my suggestion is to have three-person teams, have 4 three-person teams. Y'all may think maybe more, make it a team of 4 people, but have that different skill set, someone of each skill set on that team. That's what I'm trying to say here. So team members will wear uniforms that distinguish them from law enforcement and arrive in non-law enforcement vehicles. Team members can transport patients to local hospitals for mental health care. When on-duty team members are not on calls, they can utilize their time by checking in with previous patients, therefore reducing repeat hospitalizations. Individual emergency responders have all had experiences with mental health patients and can provide insight and suggestions for improvements to our current system. When not responding to calls, they can research different approaches and success rates to structure a new system for Decatur. In 1969, man landed on the moon. In 2025, we're struggling to get a sick person to the hospital. We can solve this one patient at a time.
Okay, first off, I will say, if you are employed or work for Decatur City and now still not moved to do something, then you need to step aside. Whether that means you need to resign, quit, have someone fired, whatever you need to do, if you don't see that this city is falling apart before our eyes, this is going to continue to happen, then you need to go. Steve Perkins' death was on DPD officers, the superiors, and the tow truck driver. John Scott's death is on everyone in this city's hands for the past 20 months, including officers, city employees that either didn't move at all to make change or moved too slowly, and this happened again. My question at the moment is the officers from Decatur Police Department that were involved in this now under investigation? Why have we not been told this? Are they on admin, or do you all even know, and can you please pause my time?
I don't know. I know that there is an investigation by Madison County into the...
Yes, I do. We all know that, but
yeah,
if a death investigation is going on, they should be on admin at least.
I don't know that.
Okay.
Well, we really, that's been
just
said
too much.
2 or 3 times. It's with Madison County. It's a ongoing investigation, so we're really not able to say much, if anything, right now. So we don't know yet.
Well, I would hope our chief would put out a statement. I'm sure you have reviewed the body cam, at least by DPD, on the one they released. How they thought this was in their favor, I do not know. I do know that I counted in just a short time frame of the video him saying "I'm sorry" over 20 times in the first 10 minutes. He also said over 10 times in the first 10 minutes, "Thank you" to every officer that was there. At minute 7, he told them, "I don't want to die." At minute 12, he said, "This might be my last time, Lord Jesus." At minute 13, he asked the officer, "Is your body cam on? I just need to make sure." Then we know what happened after that. I will close with a few posts John personally made on his Facebook page. August 24th, 2020. I pray one day I don't get killed in front of my kids by people who are supposed to protect me. August 1st, 2025, there are graveyards full of people who thought they had more time. April 2nd, 2025, praying for everyone, good health, good mental health, and peace of mind. Amen. April 2025, thank God for a clear mind and a pure heart. April 11th, 2025, they want us to hate each other, but don't let them win. April 13th, 2025, before this month is over, God is going to do something big, and he did. April 3rd, 2025, God gives you people to fight for you in rooms you are not in. And let me tell you, that is exactly what we're doing for Steve Perkins and John Scott, and we're not going to stop.
Good evening. I, like many in our community, I was supposed to read this last week, but I wasn't here, so it may be a little off, but I, like many in our community, have seen the disturbing video circulating of Mr. John Daniel Scott Jr.'s arrest. While I appreciate the issued statement and released footage for transparency, transparency alone is not enough. We must also commit to transformation. I must express that DPD's statement falls short of addressing the root issue, our urgent need for a truly compassionate, trained, and community-centered response to mental health crises. I mean, they really think they got it right. Let me be clear, this is not just about policy, because policy clearly states that you shouldn't arrest or even threaten arrest to someone in mental distress. This is about people. A mother called for help for her son in a moment of mental health crisis. She did not call for violence. She did not call for humiliation. She called for help. What followed from what we see on that video looks far more like force than care, more like control than compassion. As an educator, I never expect a substitute teacher to do what I, a certified teacher, am trained to do. I leave detailed lesson plans, clear expectations, and contact information for another professional if additional support is needed. Why? Because we set people up for success when we recognize their role and their limits. The same principle must apply when responding to mental health crises. Mr. Scott's mother did what any caring parent would do. She sought help. Instead, her son ended up tased, arrested, and dead. That is not success. That is a systemic failure. And if we are serious about change, we need to be honest about the gaps that exist. A trusted informant has told me that our current mental health liaison is not even licensed. She holds certifications, but certification is not the same as licensure. You must be licensed to practice mental health care legally and fully. This means that even our existing support structure is not equipped at the level our citizens deserve and desperately need. So tonight I urge the City of Decatur and the Decatur Police Department to act decisively. Review and reform policies surrounding responses to mental health crises with an emphasis on de-escalation and professional intervention. Create and fund a fully licensed mental health crisis response team, ensuring that those who respond are truly qualified to deliver life-saving care. We cannot allow another family to suffer the way Mr. Scott's family has, the way our community has. We cannot continue to ask untrained or undertrained people to handle emergencies that they are not equipped to manage. Our community deserves better. Mr. Scott deserved better, and I ask you to help lead us to a better way. Justice for Steve, justice for John.
All right, I think this is really bothering me, y'all, and my head is hurting so bad. But just to see the amount of African-American males that have died up under this police department in the last 19, 20 months, it's been 3. And some people say, well, our police department, how can you say our police department or our city, I'm not blaming it on them only, but that they're racist. Well, when we have 0 white people dying, 0 Asians dying, and I haven't heard about any Hispanics dying, but there's 3 black people three black men who have died. So what I'm faced with as a youth leader, or have been a youth leader for over 20 years, is when my students come to me and say a peaceful protest just don't work. That hurts me because we've been out here for 19 months and it seems like to some people that peaceful protests don't work. A guy said last night that we've been up here playing with you all and we're not getting any results. You know, I had a guy last night who also said that we're keeping them from burning down the city. And my thing is this, we've tried to work with you all, and what we failed at is we didn't move fast enough. And also what we failed at, when we tell you all something, we have checked it out over and over again. We're not just telling you information just to tell you information. We're telling you it's a problem right there, and we got to get a hold to that problem. But this is my thing, the racism is in the system of Decatur. And for this to keep happening, that means God is trying to tell us something, and he's trying to allow, to get us to fix these issues within the city. It's not just in that police department, but it's throughout this whole tower. It's in the system of Decatur. It's in the fabric of Decatur. Racism. Even when you all took Cedar Lake in 1967, did you pay for the land or did you take it? See, it's the sin is on y'all hand. It's on the city, and that's why things keep happening. People have come up here and said what they've seen in visions and all this kind of stuff. Some of it is true. You all got to have a caring heart. And then what you all, and I'm going to end right here. You might say, well, what more can the council do? What more can the council do? We've done this. We've done the police chief. We've done the third party. We did all this kind of stuff. What more can we do? Well, you know what? I hate to say this, but we can take the road of Hunter Pepper. Y'all need to denounce your mayor. You individually need to tell him to go home, and it's time for him to resign. And let me tell you why. What's going on with this city also, besides racism, is lack of leadership. Every department in here is crazy. Or I don't want to talk about the workers here, but every department is something lacking in every department. But it's him. And you all got to stand up and quit taking all the pressure and make him take some pressure. He have not done anything in this whole situation. Hadn't came out and said anything, hadn't called the mother. He haven't did anything.
Here we go again. The thing that bothers me out of all of this is when this happened, the police department posted Miss Kate Anderson's picture on Facebook as if she's doing a great job. And when she...
Just listen, I got you, but...
No, yeah. As if she's doing a great job. And at that moment, we didn't even say anything, right?
Your issues with the post, right?
No, my issue is not with the post. My issue is with what she said to the news people.
I know there's going to be an issue with that. We can't let this forum be a...
No. I'm getting somewhere.
I got you. I just want to clarify that.
I'm getting somewhere because I'm not bashing because she bashed herself. She really exposed herself or whatever. So what I'm saying is that when we have people to come and speak out against anything, I can understand if you want to secure your job or whatever, secure your position, you can do that. But don't say you did or the officers did right when they punched a man in the head 10 to 12 times. Don't say you was on the phone with officers and they tased him 15 to 20 times. Don't say they did everything right when they did not do everything right, because in their own policies, it states don't threaten arrest if you got a mental health patient. So in they didn't follow their own policies. They bound him, put handcuffs on his hand, put shackles on his feet, and put a spit mask like this on his head and left him. See, they called the head to Morgan County and say he's combative. He's combative. How can you be combative with your feet shackled and your arms handcuffed? How can you be combative with that? But that's a signal for them to say, we're going to kick this. Come on. That's a signal. Because when he got over there, they kicked that nigga. Come on now, Tom. They kicked his tail over there. Some more. Why? Because they was in a rush to go? Our police department act just like our mayor. Just like he ran out when the special sessions was over, that's how those cops was acting that night. Because they didn't want to be there dealing with a black man with an issue who called for help. And then we want to protect people. Hold them accountable. You tell Kate Anderson she was out of line.
Period.
You hold them accountable. The reason why we have a problem is not because of the policies, it's because we're not holding no one accountable. That's why we got a problem. That's why we got a problem. Y'all are protecting the wrong ones. You're protecting the wrong person. Instead of standing up for right. Y'all want to protect these jokers who's killing people, who brutalizing families. Then you want to talk. Have y'all held your police chief accountable for saying this man was under drugs and all of that? Have y'all held him accountable? Drug-induced psychosis and all of this. He was bound by his hands. How can you resist anything being bound? He was bound with his feet. How can you resist anything being bound with your feet and hands? It's no way. But we're protecting the wrong people. People believing in y'all, but y'all are protecting the wrong people.
Preach up.
Ladner and Pike, how do you all feel now that this is happening? Let me stop. Ms. Stephanie, I don't want to be rude to you because I really appreciate the work you do. But I'm going over 3 minutes.
No,
yes, I am, Herman. Please let me speak to her because I was being.
Y'all do not need to respond. Okay?
You don't even know what I'm about to say. Don't interrupt me again. You do not even know what I'm about to say.
Go ahead.
I'm just being courteous to let her know I'm going to go over my time. This city is in a crisis. It's the least you all can do. Please do not interrupt me again.
You'll have 4 minutes.
We'll see. We will. Last week, Ladner, you said you trust the police department. Is that your answer still yes? You still trust them? Okay. When Steve Perkins was killed on September 29, 2023, we expected urgency and compassion from our mayor, chief, and council. His death should have shaken you all to your core. Instead, you were silent and delayed. 3 weeks before Steve, Jaden was killed. As more details came out, the fire grew. We came here every Monday demanding change, but all we got were excuses and a shocking lack of empathy. Steve and Jaden's memory demanded outrage. Instead, for months, you said and did nothing. It took almost a full year before Todd even apologized to Katrilla. Todd spoke to the public and made a false statement and had to recant it. Hunter Pepper leaked confidential information during an active investigation. Steve's Maury was vandalized 3 separate times, and instead of properly investigating, Todd ordered the case closed for lack of leads. Bailey Marquette was indicted for murder. Joe Renshaw posted on Facebook, "I sense a bond revocation coming," and the very next day, Elena's bond was revoked. A temporary gag order was placed against the police department. Sierra was arrested and assaulted by Jack Brown, another police officer, and he bragged about it on Facebook. Katrilla was falsely detained and paraded down the street in front of her daughter. At the gag order hearing, it came out that the body cam footage was left unsecured on the city server, accessible to anyone, and it was sent to Huntsville Police Department for the visual and audio of the video to be edited. Then Todd released a 6-point plan, not 6 pages of reform, just 6 hollow bullet points. The complaints were never filed, investigated, or reviewed. Joe Renshaw quietly retired with no public accountability. Todd launched a good faith PR campaign while doing nothing meaningful. A third-party review that was released let us know that the Decatur Police Department lacks basic training, can't de-escalate, and is a danger to this community. It took you, Ladner and Pike, a year to call for Todd to step down. McMasters never did. Even then, Todd wasn't fired. No real accountability. Natus was hired, but nothing changed. No structural reforms, no transparency. The same command staff still runs that department. One man Mr. Billy Jackson stood up early and asked Todd to resign. The rest of you stayed silent, deflected, and stalled. Even after the gag order was made permanent, you dragged your feet. It took you 8 months to call for the third-party review. After we laid out facts, contacted federal agencies, and offered you real reform plans, like creating a commissioner for public safety and a public safety advisory committee. And now because you wouldn't listen, because you wouldn't act, the worst thing has happened again. Another black man, John Scott Jr., has been killed at the hands of the Decatur Police Department and Morgan County Sheriff's Office. In the middle of a mental health crisis, John said 2 things no black person ever wants to say in the presence of the police. I don't want to die. This may be my last time, Lord Jesus. For black people, those aren't just words. They are a final plea, a desperate acknowledgement that at any moment our lives can be stolen, not because of guilt or wrongdoing, but simply because we are black. As white men, you have never had to carry that fear. You walk through life protected by centuries of unearned privilege. You are believed. You are forgiven. You are shielded. We are not. When a black man cries out, I don't want to die, it should tear you apart. It should force you to confront the systems that uphold your safety while killing ours. Our biggest mistake was thinking we could be reasonable with you. We gave you the benefit of the doubt, and we tried to be cordial. That's over with. Never again. McMaster's, Ladner, Pike, I don't respect you. You don't deserve respect. You have shown yourselves to be weak, reactive, and spineless. You are more concerned with saving face than saving lives. You don't care about your positions because they were handed to you unchallenged, unearned. I'm done trying to be fair, so here we go. McMaster's, the council's crybaby in dead weight. All you do is scribble on your notepad. Pike, you stand in a legacy of your grandfather, but you're not even half the man he was. And Ladner, all you do is sit up there with a stale face looking frozen. You told someone that what I said last week was a bunch of BS. Next time, say it to my face. You did say it. You did say it. You were a coward. You did say it. You did say it, Ladner. So, what are y'all going to do different this time? Because in the 20 months that we've been here, every time we ask you something, it's, well, we could have acted earlier, or we could have done this at this time, or I should have moved faster. But here we are for round 2, and it's like we have the same stale things going on that were happening when Steve was killed. What are y'all going to do different from this situation, because you have the time now, because it's still fresh? What are you going to do different now than you did the last time?
Let me say this, okay? I think that, and you've heard me say it time and time again, we stop this time?
Yeah.
You've heard me say it time and time again that there are good police officers in this force, and I believe that. I firmly believe that. But I think it's evident, not just now, it's been evident for quite some time that there's a void of leadership. Now, I was going to wait until the end of this meeting, and I was going to ask this council to actually put on the agenda for next week for us to bring Tory Mack in. I understand that there are background checks and things of that nature that have to be done. We should be able to accomplish those things within a week and have him ready to go. I think that the void of leadership has allowed things to happen in our police department where it actually confines our good police officers, and they're in a situation where, I don't know what to do. I've got to follow my command structure. I've got to do what they tell me to do, but I don't feel that this is the right way to handle it. I think that it's been said tonight that we're not necessarily following our policies or our procedures. We have not followed our policies and procedures in many different accounts. And I think that the right leadership structure that we bring in here says we follow that, our policies and procedures. If we follow our policies and procedures, we're okay. I think that we would do things the right way. Tommy laid out how Mr. Scott was treated. I think if we follow our policies and procedures to the letter, that's part of our leadership guidance, and when we do that, then we're okay. Our citizens are okay. Our city's okay. So I think that the first thing that we do is get that person on board, I think we've all said that will bring the leadership here that we need. I think we do that sooner versus later. And I think that we make that move and push our personnel department to have that background check, to have the polygraph checks. He is APOS certified, so a lot of those things have already been done. I would like to see us have that on the agenda for next week so we can start moving forward and start building the city. That's my recommendation, one of my recommendations anyway.
I think we all like that. It's just getting those salary. I mean, there's things to work out, and then we don't have control of that.
I know we're not, and all I'm saying is that Kyle and I had a conversation last week. Kyle and I sat and talked last week after the meeting, and it's imperative on us to press that issue. And I think that we do that, and if it's not ready, then we take the bull by the horns and we do what we need to do. That's just my opinion.
A plan.
No, I asked y'all a question.
Yeah, so my answer would just be we have a new chief coming in that I think is qualified and will help us with those things. We are.
Okay. Well, with Mr. Jackson, since nobody can have a cognizant conversation but us, I ain't got time. You said policy and procedure, and you know what I'm saying? John Scott wasn't the first time that there has been a mental health crisis with the Citizen Indicator. And I know that you probably don't know the numbers, but we can all say that that's true in this room correctly. But it only seems as though policy and procedure is never followed when it comes to us, when it comes to black people who descend from slavery. So when we talk about policy and procedure, and I'm talking to y'all because y'all obviously don't get it, it always works for everyone else. But it does not work for us. It never works for us. And you're seeing that even with the Green report, because if it was fair and equal and equitable in that Green report, you would have saw people of all colors, all races, all socioeconomic backgrounds, and then you can say, okay, well, our policing is fair. But when the majority of the people who came in to talk about the police are black people who descend from slavery, are having this problem, even though it's open to everyone in the city, we're the most affected, we're the most targeted. Why is there such a lack of care or concern about anything that has to do with our lives? Hello.
Me again, or you?
No, Mr. Jackson, I'm sorry, I'm agitated, you know me. But like, why is there such a lack of care and concern when it comes to our lives?
Y'all have 6 days to get an answer, and y'all ain't got nothing? 6 days since he's died, and y'all don't have nothing to say?
We're not doing this again. Not for 18 months, y'all ain't.
No, because we tired of, like, we done followed all the rules for 20 months, and nobody is playing by the rules but us. We're tired. And it's finna get real disrespectful around here.
Sharonda Ackland.
Who? You having a bad day, Jacob?
I'm good.
You got a look of just pure disgust, no interest, no empathy. Y'all act like we want to be here. Y'all act like we don't have nothing better to do with our Monday evenings and Monday mornings. It's the fact that Decatur Police Department keeps black men's blood on their hands. It does not make any sense that we have to jump through the hoops in order to get you all to move. I got something wrote, but what I realized after coming to these meetings weeks after week is that some of y'all only care about the business that directly benefits you. If it doesn't directly affect you, then you either dismiss it, discredit it, or you act interested enough to make us think that you care and you don't. It shouldn't have taken the gag order hearing for y'all to realize what we've been stating was true. Y'all are constantly kicking the can down the road while Decatur Police Department is killing our black men. LJ's death was preventable. Again, DPD officers failed to follow their own policies and procedures. What do y'all think about how Natus has handled this?
He's a liar.
I have not had a conversation with him.
Why? I mean, a black man was killed by his officers, and you don't find it important to have a conversation with him?
He's turned that investigation over to a different agency.
So what happened to old school press conferences to where the mayor and the chief get up there and the media and the public is able to have dialogue and ask the questions that need to be answered because nobody's saying anything? How is the public supposed to know what's going on without somebody talking?
It's not important to them.
Right, they don't care. Even the fact, how do we know if these officers are still on the street?
They are. They are.
Someone last night.
Like,
They are.
Officer Payne.
do you feel that that's acceptable? Did you watch the video of what happened to LJ?
I did.
Do you believe that the officers involved should still be patrolling the streets?
Not even going to comment.
Yeah, that's a yes.
Not surprised. We talked about how bad Todd's communication was, and then y'all just set somebody in the same position to be worse.
We didn't. The mayor did.
Y'all did because y'all won't get him out of here. Y'all got the control to get him out of here, correct?
No.
The mayor?
No, we have beat that drum so many times. We cannot remove the mayor. There's no.
I can 100% guarantee you that if y'all had a conversation with him as a unit, the 4 or 5 of you, and said, we don't want you to be our mayor anymore, he would resign. He was damn near there previously, right? I'm going to end with a quote that I heard from Lois McMaster Bujold. The dead cannot cry out for justice. It is a duty of the living to do so for them. And that's exactly what the fuck we gonna do.
Jacob, we pay y'all salary, we pay the police salary.